everyone, this is Candace. Welcome back to day 82 of my 100-day health challenge. Today is a Friday. Happy Friday. Friday before exam week, so it's been crazy busy. It has been an up and down day, but it has been really fun overall too. So it's just been a really interesting, I think that's just how life goes in general, right? It's that ups and downs, the limbo between sometimes, and just choosing the bravery and positivity and remembering the hard things we've done. And I've just been trying to accumulate all these things and put them into this way to handle this particular season in life and all the challenges that come ahead of me or that are coming ahead of me and that I'm going towards. And so, so all that to say, it's the end of the week. Now, granted, it's not the end of my measuring the week for this particular challenge, so I will do a check-in on Sunday, but it is technically the week's end. And so I hope your day has been great. Today, I just kind of want to give a quick overview of how today went. It's even later tonight than it's been the last several nights because I ended up staying at the school for the basketball tournament. And so I just got home and I keep kind of switching it up. And I mean, I'm glad I have that energy, but then I'm also downright exhausted. Sometimes I think it's just because I'm so awake and restless that I just need something to do to just encourage me, to have fun, to just take my mind out of everything else and just separate it so that I am doing something that's not stressing me out, right? Because it's stress management. So, and I've done so much better with that lately, but I think this is particularly something that's helping is to just do fun things and do things that are totally separate from work or, if there's situations at home or with medical stuff or whatever that are health things, that there's those moments where we just need something that, remember, I think I talked about it before with negativity, that it separates. Sometimes we need to just completely separate ourselves out. We need to stop and pause, but then we need to separate ourselves out and choose to be brave enough to choose positivity and movement and action and moving forward. And so that's what I've been trying to do. I've also been trying to make sure I'm taking care of myself though too, because today I have a little bit of a sore throat, and I think it's just because I yelled at the games a little bit. And I get very enthusiastic when we're playing. And so I cheer them on full force. And so I'm thinking that's what it is, but it's also the weather change. I don't know how many people I talked to today who've had migraines and tension in their neck and shoulders and just sinus troubles and dry throats and dry and itchy eyes. And I think not only is the temperature dropping, but it's also very windy and dry. And I think there might be a front moving in. Originally there was forecasted snow for this week. I think it's gone away, but it still looks pretty windy and stuff. So I don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but so it's been a day of crazy ups and downs. But like I said, I went into work, was able to get some stuff done, taught class. The fun thing about class, since we did review yesterday, so we have at least one mandatory review day, and technically people usually do more review depending on the age group and the class and all of that. And but I had girls in the tournament today, and so we did our review yesterday since their game was going to be during class. And originally we were going to do some more review, but they did so well and they feel so prepared. And I asked them, I double checked, and I thought, you know what, let's sometimes for the benefit of the brain, so that you're not just cramming more in when you don't have room. I mean, it's that theory, it's like that picture of the cup, right? When your cup is full and you just keep pouring water, things actually start falling out. And so to me, not only had we already reviewed and they were nailing it, but also they needed the break. And so we went down as a class just for our class period and supported one of the JV teams, the JV, was it JV boys? JV boys or JV girls? No, JV girls. It was the JV girls. We watched their game. Because I just said they're in my class. The girls are in my class. I'm getting the day mixed up because it was so busy. But anyways, it was just fun for them too. And I think sometimes what's nice about that is not only when we give ourselves a break, but when we give others a break and we encourage and we try to separate out. And it's even that concept of letting them, helping them grow and helping them in their health. Because mentally and emotionally around exam time, that's stressful for the kids, especially with when you have things like this, where this tournament was not something that had another weekend possible. And so it's one of those things where, it's not ideal in some ways, the timing of it, but it was fun too. And we made do with it. And it was absolute chaos around the school today. But it was so much fun though too, because they had an entire section of the bleachers filled with the elementary kids. And so the kids, and I mean, they of course think that the high schoolers are like these celebrity star basketball players. And to them, they really are. They're like the coolest NBA players ever, right? And so it was really fun to hear them enthusiastic and them cheering on. And I told my high schoolers, I was like, guys, you're slacking. I said, the elementary over there, they're killing it. Their cheers are crazy good. And you guys are over here a little behind. So, but it was so much fun and just really encouraging. And I mean, classes came in and out and switched, mostly just for our team's games. Like we didn't let them out necessarily for other games unless they had a period off, they could go and sit in the gym. But we went down for my class. And then I saw a couple other classes down in 6th hour for the JV boys game. And then I was originally going to come home because I was just exhausted. But then, I thought, while I'm here, let me just grade some, because the game had been shifted, or it had been written incorrect on the schedule. So it was actually earlier. And so I thought, well, if I work for an hour and a half after school and get stuff done, then I can just stay and go to the varsity girls game. And so I did. I stayed. And then I realized, I was like, well, it's only another hour and a half until the boys varsity game. And the next our guys, because there was another game in between each of those, right? For the brackets. And so, but our varsity boys and girls won, and our JV girls won. And unfortunately our JV boys lost, but man, they fought to the very end. And they did such a good job. And, but I'm really excited. I'm hoping I can get there tomorrow. It depends on if this sore throat is actually something. I'm going to have to take it easy and stay home and rest. But there's so many things I want to do. I wanted to see if they still had any tickets available for the Nutcracker Ballet. I used to go we used to go all the time anyways every year. But then the last few years, my niece has been in it. And, but they, moved. And so she did the Nutcracker out in their new home. But she got in a new ballet group and everything and did the Nutcracker there. But that's why I was a little bit slacking in getting tickets, because I usually get them way back in like October, November when they first come out. And I get the early ones, the early notification as a member of the place and everything. But I mean, it's, I'm not like the paying member, right? I just get the email notifications. But usually I would get them from family too. Like I get family notifications about it. But since I didn't have that this year, I never got my tickets. And so I'm like, I really want to go still. And there were some available the other day, but I'm not sure if they are anymore. And so, and I have to figure out the timing too. Because again, if I'm not feeling that great, I also have my friend's girl, her daughter is having her first birthday party. So my friends are having a little birthday party for her. And so I'm going to that on Sunday. And so I'm just trying to figure out the timing of everything and not trying to push it, because I also travel next week. I have finals, I have grades that I want to get in. And so, and then, travel plans are a little up in the air with all the different things going on, potentially with weather and stuff like that. And so it's just a whole thing, but it's been fun, and it's been a really uplifting day and an uplifting week. I got to go to our Christmas festival on Wednesday, the Christmas program for the elementary on Thursday yesterday, got to go to the tournament today, and may get to go to the tournament tomorrow. Maybe can run errands or even go to the store and get some gifts for people. I need to get Secret Santa stuff for, Monday through Thursday of this week, especially where I'm going to be packing and leaving. I got to be staying on top of that. I've got to do cleaning around the house, at least for like getting it prepared for when I'll be gone. And I need to, I have people going to come check. That's one thing that I just need to make sure I have all the list of things to do and for that, what to put out, trash and all that kind of stuff. And just like all the little odds and ends, and wrapping some gifts before people get here, finishing decorating some things. So I have a whole list, and I mean, obviously not all of it has to be done, and it's not going to be the end of the world if it doesn't all get done, but I really want to get some things done, go do some fun stuff. And especially where I'm traveling, taking care of myself too, especially since I'm still recovering from last week's sickness. But I guess it's just playing that balance, right? Listening to our bodies, knowing how we respond to things. And it takes a while to get to know it. I've learned over the last several years, especially, really the last 7 years, but it's the last few years in particular, I've really done a lot of work on getting to know how I respond to things, how I can tell when something's not right or coming on that's, if I can tell that it's really bad or if it's just a cold. And I mean, sometimes it's still not 100%, but it's good to just learn to listen to our bodies and to take a good reflective look and, be real with ourselves, but also don't be so paranoid about all the things. You gotta live life too. So anyways, though, I know that's a crazy fast check-in. Oh, so let's do a little bit of a check-in really quickly about just each of the areas today. Besides, I kind of did a big broad overview. But let's see. So I'm still not weighing in right now. I'm doing the weekly check-in. So, and I will eventually stop actually putting that on there. I will just weigh in every week as a normal thing. But I'm not doing that, and it's taken off a huge amount of pressure there. Sometimes I'm a little curious and I'm like, I want to go look. And I don't necessarily, if I really, really felt like I needed to, I wouldn't restrict myself, just because if I really felt that I needed to know the gauge for it, then I would check. But right now it's been good to not check, not have that pressure. Nutritional wise, it's been a mixed day today. Today was kind of I called it sort of my freebie pre-Christmas break day to go easy on myself. I actually had a really healthy breakfast. We did have teacher treats today. There wasn't a lot of them, but I still got a decent amount. So I got fresh fruit. I had grapes and strawberries. I had some little pepperoni and cheese things with these little gluten-free rice crackers. I didn't have many of those. And then along with that, I had, there were some little olives and, I'm mixing it up now. I think there were some cucumbers and little vegetables. And then I had a coffee with a sugar-free creamer. I debated because I really don't like flavorings and sweeteners and all that. Fake ones. I like the, I'm just not a fan of artificial sweeteners at all. But I made do with this one, and I put barely any in, and I just needed something in it. And then I had a water, and I had a lot of water today. That was the other thing that was really good. I did do my supplements on time and everything. For lunch, it was a mixture. It wasn't bad, but because of the tournament, I actually went and did the concessions, but they had really good stuff. They had these local burritos from this express burrito place, and they had the bacon egg breakfast burrito, and they're really good, and they're not super heavy, and so I got that. And then I had gotten a I got my Secret Santa gift, which was so great. I got they got me two small black unsweetened cold brews. And so I did one of those with the breakfast burrito. And yes, it was a bit much on the caffeine and all that, but I definitely needed it. So I got that. And then I did another water and did my supplements. And then the one thing that was a mixture was for dinner. I again went to the concessions, and I was gonna get another concessions thing, and then they had all this free pizza. I mean, they had huge amounts of pizza, and they needed to get rid of it, so they were just letting people come through and buffet their way through the pizza. And they had Caesar salad mix, and they had this really, really good pasta salad, both gluten-free and not. They had some vegetable trays and I think they even had some fruit, and then all these dessert things, and more water. And so I got a little bit of pizza, mostly Caesar salad and some of the pasta salad and veggies, and then some water. And so it was a mixture. It was kind of I wanted to get concessions to support them, and I wanted to also try to be as healthy as I could be. And it was also free pizza while I was still at least buying, I will admit, I got a third coffee cold brew thing from the concessions. So I did have a lot of caffeine today, but I needed it a little bit, and it was also just kind of comforting. And I didn't drink it much past I had it around 4 or 5, so it wasn't, it's later than I really probably should have, but it wasn't, 9 o'clock. So anyways, that was that. And so I did pretty well in nutrition and the supplements and everything. Oh, and I did do, dinner supplements too. And and I resisted the sweets. I had one teeny tiny little thing today on the teacher treats. It was this little like dark chocolatey type thing. So that was it. That was all. And then I bought a brownie to support the concessions, but then realized I should have just donated the money and not bought the brownie, but I didn't eat the brownie. So we'll see what happens to the brownie. I may take it to somewhere tomorrow and like give it to a friend. Like if I go to the games, I might go give it to someone, or maybe I'll take it to church on Sunday and be like, here, have a brownie. So anyways, that went really well. Rest, I got better sleep last night. I got about 5 hours of sleep. Still not great. It was still a little restless. It took me a while to get to sleep, but I did sleep better and was able to get up earlier and feel less drained. I was still exhausted through the day overall, but it's on the trend towards improvement. So I'm hoping that'll continue that way again as I recover from being sick last week, and then also before I go on my trip, because that's what I really want to do, is have more normal sleep before I travel, so that if it gets off, it's not like a double whammy. And then as far as stress management, I felt like, there were some definite stress times today. There was some definite tension. There were some really, really good positive things, some great community things. There was some tension with just just the grades and the exams, and like kids just not doing their work, and like you try so hard to help them, but there's so much you can do that without trying to enable them, and also trying to encourage them to just show up and hold themselves to better standards, because they can do it. They're very capable. And so it was just this tension where it's like you want to be encouraging, you want to help them out, but there's a point at which when they're just not taking that help and they're just not making those good choices, they have to just unfortunately face sometimes the lower grades, which is such a bummer. And especially going into exams, like it could help them, but it could also hurt them. I mean, it depends on how much they study it, and I mean, how even just well they do. And some of them, it was project-based exams and they still just didn't take the time to put into it. So it was this kind of fluctuation, right, of positive and negative, and just having to choose the positive, yes, talk through, brainstorm, encourage each other, talk through the negative a bit, feel like you have that camaraderie to be able to say, hey, it's been a tough day. It's not been a great day. This season's not great. I'm hoping, like, here's some of the positive things I'm trying to hold on to, all these different things. But again, trying to ultimately choose bravery and choose positivity. And hey, it's not easy sometimes at all. Most of the time it's not easy. And so anyways, that's that. And movement, I walked around a ton today. It wasn't the intentional exercise routine, but again, I have a couple days to still do that. So I'm going to try my best to do it tomorrow and Sunday. And then that's pretty much it. I did the metabolism, the supplements and everything. I did miss my collagen again today, so I'm going to try to get back on track with that. I've not missed too much, but I want to try to get back on track with that. So that's pretty much it. It's a quick check-in, just some general information, some ideas, inspiration, trying to bring all these ideas together. Also trying to not take too much time tonight because I need to go to bed, and make sure I'm not, overstressing and overworking my body, especially as I recover and then about to travel. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoy this, find some sort of inspiration from it. I would love it. If you like it, please tell me, like below, subscribe if you want more notifications of when I put up videos, especially as we get to the end of the 100 days and I start doing other things beyond that, but also the excitement of like, where am I going to be at day 100? And then also just share with family and friends, and let's keep building this community up. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.